The 30th of December, 1998, a 16-year-old girl is sentenced to death by an anti-terrorism court in Karachi for murdering her parents and brother. Nearly 2 decades later, in 2018, a 3-member bench of the Supreme Court found this girl, Asma Nawab, who was now 36, to be not guilty. However, by this time, she had spent 20 agonizing years of her life in prison for a crime she did not commit. Think about this. 20 years of someone's life gone. And for what? For something she didn't even do. Asma's case is a stark example of a system that failed her and countless others within Pakistan's judicial grasp. In today's video, we will delve into the stories of people like Asma and uncover the flaws within Pakistan's judicial framework. Flaws which shattered lives and eroded the trust in the country's justice system. 1. Problems with lower courts. Majority of the problems with Pakistan's judicial system are related to the district courts. Judges of the lower courts are known to usually decide cases less on merit and more on self-preservation. This has resulted in abuse of law and violation of human rights in the country. One harrowing example of this is the case of Junaid Hafiz. Imagine yourself as a Fulbright scholar who has recently come back to Pakistan to teach students at a local university in Multan. One day someone accuses you of blasphemy and you are sentenced to death by a lower court without fair trial. This is what happened to Junaid, who till this day is behind bars, waiting hopelessly for justice. What is more horrible is that his lawyer who took up his case, Rashid Rahman, was brutally murdered in his office in 2014. Despite this grave injustice and tragedy of Rashid's death, the courts failed to take any appropriate action. Even in death, the lawyer could not find justice. These heartbreaking incidents shed light on the failures within the system. They showcase the stark reality of the lack of fair trials, the vulnerability of individuals within the legal framework, and the challenges faced by defenders of justice. In Pakistan, the pursuit of justice seems elusive, and the court's inability to protect the accused and their advocates paints a grim picture of the system's deficiencies. 2. Delayed justice. Justice delayed is justice denied. Unfortunately, this is the only form of justice Pakistanis have known for the past 76 years. In a report by the World Justice Project, Pakistan ranked 130th out of 139 countries in adherence to rule of law. This ranking reflects the poor state of the legal affairs in the country. Let's go to May 2005. 2 brothers, Ghulam Qadir and Ghulam Sarwar, have just been handed down death sentences by a local court in Punjab. They appealed a decision of the court, but to no avail. 10 years after waiting on the death row, both the brothers are hanged in Bahawalpur jail on October the 13th, 2015. In October of 2016, a year after the brothers had been hanged, the Supreme Court declared that there had been a miscarriage of justice and that there was insufficient evidence to convict the brothers. This is a terrible case of delayed justice, where the victims had lost their lives before they could be provided justice. This tragic case echoes the systemic flaws within the legal system, where the machinery of justice failed miserably. The delayed intervention of the highest judicial authority, highlighting the insufficiency of evidence after the irreversible loss of innocent lives, is a stark reminder of the dire need for systemic reforms. It's crucial to comprehend that this case isn't an isolated incident. It represents a broader pattern within the Pakistani judicial system, where delays, errors, and miscarriages of justice persist, robbing innocent individuals of their rights and lives. 3. Lack of accountability within judiciary. The real threats to independence of judiciary are from within, stemming from the personality of the judge himself, said Asif Saeed Khosa, a former Chief Justice of Pakistan. But is the judiciary held accountable within its own system? Unfortunately, the reality paints a different picture. Firstly, under Article 209 of the Constitution, judges of the higher judiciary can only be removed as judges by the Supreme Judicial Council. Secondly, the Supreme Judicial Council is composed of specified judges of the Supreme Court and specified Chief Justices of the High Court. In other words, It is a system of internal accountability as opposed to external accountability by the legislature or the executive. Thirdly, the role of the Supreme Judicial Council is limited only to recommending the removal of the judge or dismissal of the complaint or allegation. Fourthly, no proceedings for corruption can be initiated against a sitting judge of the higher judiciary under the NAB law. Consider this stark fact. Since the enactment of Article 209 in 1973, no judge of the High Court and Supreme Court has been removed from office. Does this imply that there hasn't been a single judge in the higher judiciary found guilty of corruption or misconduct? It prompts us to question the effectiveness and transparency of the system's self-accountability. In a system designed to uphold justice, transparency and accountability are paramount. The absence of robust mechanisms to hold judges accountable undermines public trust and raises significant concerns about the integrity of the judiciary. It's imperative to reevaluate and strengthen these accountability frameworks to uphold the principles of justice and maintain public confidence in the judicial system. As you watch this video, there are about 52,000 cases pending in the Supreme Court alone. Think, if the highest court of the country is facing such a huge backlog of cases, how many cases would the other courts have pending before them? Behind these statistics lie stories of people like Aswan Nawab, Jumin Hafiz, Ghulam Kabir, and Ghulam Sarwar, people who have suffered due to delayed justice, lack of accountability, and shortcomings within the judicial system. Their narratives echo the larger systemic issues that persist within Pakistan's legal framework. Join us next time as we explore the infamous doctrine of necessity and how the decisions of the judiciary impacted the politics of Pakistan. Until next time.